All right, Tuesday the 20th, we have our first ladder. Probably our only ladder. Yep. So it is 15 to 1, which means you start at 15 and you go down to 1 by 1. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11 until you get down to 1. We are doing one-armed rows per arm, quick pulse sumo squats, but between each number. So before you go from 15 to 14, or 14 to 13, or 13 to 12, you're going to do 5 thrusters. So one arm row looks like this. I think we talked about these in week 1. Then switch sides. Your quick pulse sumo, which you can do weighted. I think I did it weighted, but you don't have to. Looks like this. And your thruster looks like this. Okay, so to talk again about the structure, you are going to do 15 one-arm rows on your right side, 15 one-arm rows on your left side, 15 quick pulse sumo squats, 5 thrusters, 14 one-arm rows on each side, 14 sumo squats, 5 thrusters, 13 one-arm rows on each side, 13 sumo squats, 5 thrusters, 12 one-arm rows, 12 sumo squats, 5 thrusters. So your one-arm rows and your sumo squats that are directly under the 15 to 1 ladder are going to go from 15 to 1. Your 5 thrusters between each set always stays 5. You're always doing 5 thrusters. The number of one-arm rows and sumo squats are going down by 1. Your thrusters are always going to be 5. You do the 5 once you finish the other 2. So again, 15 of each, 5 thrusters. 14 of each, 5 thrusters. 13 of each, 5 thrusters, okay? All the way down to 1, and when you hit 1, you don't need to do 5 thrusters. Now, if you start with 15 and you're like, okay, I'm never gonna make it down to 1, you can either jump down to like 11 or 10 and just go from there, or you can just stop early, okay? So, one-arm rows, like I said, I believe we talked about this before. You can do it like just kind of kneeling on your leg. You can do it off of a height. It's probably the easiest off of some kind of height. And you're gonna get in a staggered stance, up on the back toe. Your leg is pretty much straight. And you're just gonna pull with your shoulder blades, and you're gonna bring the weight up to your hip chest area, okay? Nothing else is moving. I'm not opening my chest. I'm not jerking the weight. I'm just doing a nice and steady pull. Same thing on the other side. My body's not moving except for my arm. Nice and steady pull, okay? For your sumo, if you want to hold a weight, I forget how I was holding it. Sometimes I hold it like this. I just let it dangle in the middle. That's probably the easiest way. Or if you have a kettlebell, that's probably easier. But you can hold it however you want if you want to even hold one. You can just hold it like this. So with your sumo, that means you have your feet out turned, okay? So your toes are not forward, they're not slightly out, they're out. And then your feet are either gonna be shoulder width or wider apart, okay? So it doesn't have to be super, super wide. It's gotta be comfortable enough, but it is out-turned feet, wider stance. So you're gonna go down into your squat, you're gonna pulse, return. 1, down, pulse, return. Down, pulse, return. Now you can do it with no weight, but with your sumo, you should feel it in your inner leg and on the top, okay? So same thing as your regular squat, but when you turn your feet out like that and you widen your stance, when you sink down, you should feel it pull right here, okay? So if you don't feel that, either turn your feet more or widen your stance or both. So down, bounce 1, down, bounce 2. It's totally up to you if you use weight or not. Now for your thruster is your front rack squat and your shoulder press mixed together. Front rack squat, talked about in week 1, and your shoulder press mixed together. Squat, press. 1, squat, press. 2, squat, press. Now, you can also tap and go, and you can also full sit. Tap, press, tap, press, tap, press, sit, stand, and press. Sit, stand, and press. Sit, stand, and press, okay? So if you have any questions about the structure of the workout, you can message me, but I think I explained it pretty well.